So I just wanted to talk about Jack Flaherty's debut with the Orioles yesterday. I thought he did a great job. His fastball, he had great control over it. He was able to dot it wherever he wanted to, and he was able to use the mix of pitches that he has, the little cutter, the knuckle curve, and the slider to great effect, mixing them well, mixing his locations, and really you could tell he had a game plan, especially against right-handed hitters. He was going to go low and outside, he was going to get ahead of the hitters, and then he was going to try and either get them to chase a breaking ball low and outside, or he was going to try and jam them up and in, try and make them uncomfortable, not let them get extended. He did a great job executing, as you can see by the zone chart over there. He just did a great job going low and outside to hitters and making them uncomfortable. I just wanted to talk about a good at-bat in the fourth inning, just a great pitch sequence by Flaherty to start off the inning. It's Vladdy Guerrero Jr., a well-documented Oriole killer. I have seen this guy destroy Orioles pitching in the past, and even though Flaherty is a new Oriole, I'm sure he's well aware of the damage that Vladdy is capable of doing. The Orioles actually did a great job keeping Vladdy in check this series. He had no hits up until this point, and this is the fourth game of a four-game series, and he's leading off the fourth inning, his second at-bat of the game. So let's take you to it. So how does Flaherty start off Vladdy? He's going to start him off with a fastball, low and outside. Like I have been saying, he just dots it. There is nothing that Vladdy can do with that pitch. That is just an impeccable pitch, well received by Adley to get the call from Jim Wolf. And Vladdy's just going to wait for another pitch. His team's down 2-0. He wants to do a little damage, get a little rally going. So what does Flaherty do? He sees that Vladdy doesn't like that pitch, so he gives it to him again, and you just see Vladdy shaking his head like, what am I supposed to do with this pitch? There's nothing you can do. But now it's in his head. Now he's thinking about those two fastballs that are low and outside. So what does Flaherty do? He's going to trick him. He's going to give him a pitch that looks like the fastball low and outside, but it just disappears at the end, and he has Vladdy chasing. He has Vladdy off balance. He has Vladdy off time, and he is just chasing that pitch. Just Flaherty does a great job of pulling him in that at bat. And I thought what was really cool was Springer came up next, and I'm sure Springer was watching that at bat and paying attention to how Vladdy was being pitched, and he knows that Flaherty got ahead of him with a couple of fastballs. Springer's looking to jump on the first pitch. He thinks it's going to be a fastball away, and when he sees this slider from Flaherty, he gets a little bit too eager, and he swings and misses at it because it looks like the fastball, but it just disappears at the end, and that is a tight slider from Flaherty, and Flaherty is eventually able to get out of this at bat. He lets a little bit of a slider slip. He's trying to go low and away again, but he lets it slip inside. Luckily doesn't hit Springer, and maybe even more likely doesn't get more of the plate so Springer can smack it, but tries to go low and outside with the fastball again. This one's a little more elevated. You can see Springer hits it a little bit harder, but it's right at center fielder McKenna, and he's able to retire Springer on that pitch. If we just skip ahead to the sixth inning, this is really the only time Flaherty struggled, and he let a couple of his pitches, especially his breaking balls, catch a little bit too much of the zone when he was going low and outside. They were more low, middle, or up and outside, and it got him into a little bit of trouble. Kiermaier leads off the inning with a pretty nice at-bat. He works the count full. Flaherty's trying to go low and outside with a little slider, and it just catches too much of the plate, and Kiermaier rips it. He does not miss that one. He misses that, but he doesn't miss the ball, and he gets a little single. But again, Flaherty just limiting the damage only lets him to a single. So Whit Merrifield's up. He's ahead 0-2. He's trying to go low and outside and put him away, maybe get a double play ball, but that catches a lot of the plate with a slider. You think Urias makes a great play. Gold Glove defender calls him out. The umpire thinks he makes a great play, but replay review does show he was saved. Kiermaier's a great runner. He has great speed. That was a hard play by Urias. So now belt up. He's been a little bit of a thorn in our side, and that pitch catches a lot of the plate. You see Flaherty wins, but it's right at O'Hearn. He gets lucky there. So now Vladdy's up, and again, let's see how Flaherty deals with Vladdy. He's going to go low and outside with a fastball again. Vladdy's ready, but he swings and misses through it. He tries it again, and this one's 97, so you know Flaherty's amped. It's a big moment in the game. Vladdy represents the game-tying run, and he is their best hitter. And Flaherty is probably on his last inning, so he gasses it. But Vladdy catches up with that one. He's ready. So now they try and go low and outside again, but Flaherty lets this one get a little bit high on him, and Vladdy fouls it off. And next pitch, they try and put him away with that curveball again, the same one that he saw last time, but that one is just not as enticing. I think Vladdy was maybe a little more ready for it, so they try and go low and outside again with the curveball, and that one, Flaherty is lucky, got too far inside, because if that was on the plate inside instead of where it was, a couple inches off the plate inside, Vladdy would have crushed that, but where it was, all he could do with it was roll over on it and hit it foul. So they try and go up and in. You see the target by Adley, but This one just kind of goes middle in, and Vladdy's able to fight it off to right field. Single in a run, push the run across, and it's now first and third. And actually, Flaherty here has a little bit of a struggle with his command versus George Springer. He is trying to do his normal thing and go low and outside, but Springer is being very patient. He's not chasing the off-speed pitches. Flaherty's not hitting the zone, and he's also not getting the calls when he wants to. So Springer just takes a walk. I mean, it's a pretty non-competitive at-bat for Flaherty, one of the only ones he had in this game. But he loads up the bases, and now he is in a little bit of trouble as he faces Matt Chapman. But he gets back to his game plan against Matt Chapman. As you can see, he's just targeting the lower outside corner, gets a strike, a ball, tries to get him to chase on a pitch, and then he just hits him with a couple nasty curveballs. As you see, he's so off balance on that slider, and then he gets him with the big knuckle hook on the outside corner, and that pitch is just perfectly placed. He's got Chapman off balance, and that's a pitch that I almost wonder if it would have been called a strike if Chapman hadn't swung at it. But Chapman did swing at it, so we'll never know. That's a huge out for Flaherty, though. It's the second out in the inning, and then it allows him to face Kirk with 2 outs and the bases loaded, and he can just go right on attacking Kirk, and that is exactly what he does. As you see him dot a curveball there on the outside corner, he tries to come back again with that fastball low and outside. He just misses, and then with the third pitch, he's going to try and change the eye level, jam Kirk, but Kirk's able to fight it off up and in. Not an easy pitch to handle. Last pitch, he gives him another curveball. That one he doesn't get low and outside enough. Kirk gets a lot of it, but not enough of it as Hayes is able to track it down, secure the good start for Flaherty, who goes 6th inning, only lets up 1 run, 4 scattered singles, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. Orioles fans are so excited to see this guy for the rest of the year.